Hello dancers, Desiree here and welcome back to Danzique Fitness. For those of you who don't know, I am a teaching artist at the Joffrey Ballet School here in New York City. I teach for their open class program. And before this whole pandemic came about, I was actually in the middle of teaching a beginner point workshop. Unfortunately, we only made it halfway through the 6-week program. And so I've been wanting to create this video for you for quite some time. So I am so thrilled to finally get it going for you guys. This is specifically for my Joffrey Ballet students and all of you out there who are also beginner point dancers. We're going to stay at the bar the entire time. 2 hands lightly holding the bar or chair or stool or countertop or whatever you have going on at home. The last exercise, we'll challenge ourselves by holding onto the bar with just 1 hand. So this is going to be phenomenal to really strengthen and condition all of our beautiful muscles in our feet and ankles and legs. If you are a more advanced dancer, maybe an intermediate or advanced level, you can still do this and get something out of it. If you want to amp it up a little bit, you could do this whole routine without holding onto the bar at all, and that will really challenge your strength and your balance. I also want to remind you all to really make sure you are working very, very carefully. Obviously, I am not there with you, unfortunately, so I won't be able to kind of correct and nitpick little things. So you kind of have to be your own teacher in a sense and just really make sure you're working very, very carefully. Make sure you're really holding your center and really watch the alignment of your feet, okay? Something that my students hear me say probably about 80 times during one class is, think more big toe, less baby toe, right? Because if our ankles are going to go one way, they're going to go to the outside towards that baby toe, right? Obviously that sickles the foot and it's just very, very dangerous. And it's also how a lot of people end up spraining their ankles. So obviously we want to avoid that. We don't want that happening at all, which is why I always remind my students to think more big toe. It doesn't mean that I only want you to be on your big toe, right? But because our ankles just naturally go that way on the outside, if we think more big toe, then it'll put our foot nice and straight, right in the center, which is exactly where we want it to be. Okay, friends? So I think we should get started. Put on your point shoes, grab your bar or a chair or whatever you got going on, and let's dance. Here we go. Okay, everyone, let's begin with our warm-up. We're really going to work on the articulation of the feet. So let's place our legs in a parallel position. And remember, even though you're parallel, you still want to engage in those external rotators from the hip. We have light hands on the bar, starting with the right foot. We're going to go demi-point, full point, demi-point, and lower down. We do that twice with the right foot, and then twice with the left foot, really exaggerating that demi-point, really pushing over the shoe, of course staying right in the center of the foot, demi-point and down. So 2 times right, 2 times left, and then we'll take both legs together. Plie, roll up, lengthen up, and roll down with control. We'll do that 2 times, and then reverse it 2 times by taking an élevé, plie, really pushing over, feeling a nice stretch in the feet and ankles, and then we roll down. We'll do that 2 times as well, and then we flex the feet without sticking the butt out, right? We don't want to do that. Keep your tailbone down, flex the feet from the hip. We externally rotate. That is how you find your true turnout, and then we do the exact same thing in our first position. 2 times right, 2 times left, 2 times rolling up, and then élevé, plie, roll down 2 times We'll flex to finish back in the parallel position, and beautiful arms down to finish, okay? So, dancers, I just want to point out one more thing. You probably noticed this already. I am doing my right side first. Now, if you're mirroring me, it probably looks like I'm doing my left. So if it's too confusing for you to sort of flip-flop it and do your right side, then just mirror me and you can start with your left leg first. It doesn't really matter because at the end of it all, we will do both sides, okay? Just wanted to point that out. Hopefully it doesn't confuse you, but you either start with your right side as you normally would, or just mirror me and start with your left side, okay? Let's try with music. Here we go. And parallel, light hands on the bar, right foot, demi, push, demi, roll down, again, same leg, demi, stay right in the center, don't get back on those baby toes, other leg, demi point, push over, and again, and now both legs together, deep plie, roll, lengthen, roll down toe heel, take your time, stretch, and reverse, elevate, and toe heel, and press, roll, flex, rotate, and now we go to first, really pushing the heel forward, and again, and same thing other side, demi point, push, demi, and roll, and both legs together, tailbone straight down, roll, stretch, toe ball heel, plie, and reverse, elevate, push, toe ball heel, and press, and flex to parallel, and nice finish. Let's do some more elevates, nice and slow. Again, really articulating through the feet. We're gonna again do this in the parallel position, and then we'll also do it in first, and then repeat it a second time, okay? So again, light hands on the bar. Remember, an elevate means that the legs stay lengthened and straight the whole entire time, right? If you're doing a releve, that starts with an R, then that implies that you bend or plie first before you go up, okay? But an elevate, starting with an E, means that there is no plie. So really keep the energy in the legs always pulling up, okay? So let's do this. We're gonna do 4 very slow elevates. Demi point, full point, demi point, down 4 times. And then we do 4 times a little bit faster, but still maintaining control and that beautiful articulation in the feet. After your 4th faster one, we'll bend both knees. Again, really tracking everything in the same line. Lengthen up, roll down, and then we'll flex to rotate to first position and do the same thing in first. Okay? Let's try with music. And demi point, full point, demi point, and down, demi, full, demi, and down. Keep going, demi, full, demi, and down, saved by the music. I guess we're not doing that again. You're probably okay with that, right? All right, calves on fire, I know. Stretch out those calves if you need to. Isn't that so tough? It looks easy, but it really takes a lot of strength and control to do that really well. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we go. Let's work on our releves next. Now, there are two kinds of releves. There's a slower releve that obviously starts with a plie, right? And there's a little bit more emphasis on the roll up just because it's slower. Then there are releves that are a little bit spunkier and they have a little bit more of a pop up and a scoop under with the toes, okay? Now, depending upon what you're doing, you might do the slower releve, or you might need to do the spunkier releve with a little bit more of a spring. So we're going to go from fifth position and we're going to work on our susus, okay? So what kind of releve do you think we're going to be doing? I'll give you a hint, it's not the slower one, yeah? It's the faster one. So if we are in a beautiful fifth, we can do the slower releve that really emphasizes the articulation in the feet, right? But then we end up in an open fifth position, okay? I want to end up in a beautiful tight susu. So this one really requires you to think of scooping both set of toes under you, yeah? So I talk about this all the time in my classes. I refer to this as a scoop, yeah? And it has a little spring, a little pop up, yeah? And then in order to go down, it's the same thing. You kind of have to shoot both feet out and spring back down, okay? So this is a really great way to just get your muscles moving really, really quickly, because as we know, not everything in ballet is very, very slow, right? Sometimes it's super fast, so we have to make sure our muscles know how to really move quickly and get to where they need to be in one piece, okay? So we're gonna do this. Beautiful fifth position. We'll take a plie, scoop, hold, hold. Plie, scoop, hold, hold. Plie, scoop, hold, hold. Plie, changement, and stretch. And then we do the same thing on the other side, okay? Make sure all of your plies really have that tailbone going straight down. If you're sitting back, you lose your rotation, and then it's just extra things that you have to fix in order to get up into your susu, okay? So remember, in a releve, your plie really sets you up. So if your plie is a little funky, chances are your releve is gonna be a little funky, okay? So keep that good posture, belly button in and up, tailbone down, all right? Let's try with music. And fifth position, down, up, stay, stay, down, up, hold, hold, down, up, and changement, stretch, and scoop. Position this time, and we're going to do 4 releves, the slower kind, really emphasizing on the articulation, and then we're going to do 4 faster ones that are a little spunkier and have a little bit more of that spring up, okay? Now, when we were in fifth position, we had to do a pretty significant scoop under with the toes in order to get into that beautiful tight Susu fifth. When you're in first, there's not as much of a scoop under that needs to happen when you do your spunkier releve, okay? So we're not gonna end up here with the heels practically touching. We'll probably just scoop the toes ever so slightly under, right? Not too much, but it has a nice little pop up, okay? We're not jumping up, we're not getting air and landing on our toes. Trust me, that doesn't feel so good, yeah? We're more or less dragging the toes ever so slightly under and popping up, okay? So here we go, feet in first position. 4 releves, really emphasizing on the rolling, and then 4 a little spunkier. Let's try with music. So again, I think it's really important to also practice different dynamics of movement, right? Because like I said before, not everything in ballet is slow. So whether you're doing the slower one or the faster one, you have to remember that both require the same amount of control, right? You're just moving your muscles a little bit slower or you're moving them a little bit faster, okay? Let's move on to the next one. Let's put the feet in fifth position. This is kind of a nice little stretch for your feet so your toes get to relax a little bit. We're going to take a tendu to the front and we're going to shift the weight forward and really push over the foot. Again, think more big toe, less baby toe, because the last place we want to be is back here, okay? You want to stretch your foot in the right alignment. Then you shift your weight back, close into fifth. We'll take a tendu plie fifth and tendu plie fifth. So remember, you have to do your tendus exactly the way you would do them if you had your regular ballet slippers on. I know it's harder to really point and articulate your feet in your pointe shoes, yeah, because you have a little bit more resistance going on, but it's really good to practice your tendus in your pointe shoes because it'll really, really strengthen your feet. So even though it's not actual point work, it's still really great to do and it's really great to build up your strength, okay? So we're gonna do that same thing all the way around en croix, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side, okay? Let's try with music. Beautiful fifth. And tendu front. Push. Shift. Fifth. Out. Plie. Out. Plie. Same thing side. Shift. Push. Close back. Articulate. Plie. Out. Plie. To the back. Just think big toe. Shift. Fifth. Out. Plie. Out. Plie. Again to the side. Shift. Really push over. Stay right in the center. Close front. Out. Plie. And out. Plie. Good. Let's scoop the toes to our Susu. And let's see if we can balance here. Arms in first. Strong legs, strong ankles. Nothing moves. Really squeeze those legs together. Open. And beautiful finish. Okay, guys. Before we try it on the other side, something that I forgot to mention that's very, very important. When you guys go to the back, it's really just the big toe, okay? Because we still want to keep that foot in a nice shape. So if you kind of do this and you get all the toes on the floor, obviously the foot is sickled. It's not cute. No one can pull that off. I don't care who you are, right? So it's mainly just the big toe that's on the floor when you're shifting your weight back, okay? So think of the baby toe staying off the floor for that one, yeah? Let's try it on the other side. And out, push. Articulate, really work the feet. And side, shift. Close back. And undo back. Just the big toe. Knees over the toes and all those pliés. One more side. Close front. And take your susu up. Scoop the toes. Good. Really find your opposition. Legs are pulling up long. You're lifting up through the crown of the head, but you're also pushing down into the floor. And nice finish. Okay, guys, good work. Let's try some échappés next. So we'll start with the feet in 5th position. We'll do 2 échappés in 4th, 1 échappé in 2nd, change feet, followed by a beautiful scoop to your susu, okay? Now, this is a preference thing, but for me, I think it's really beautiful when your 4th position is opposite 5th, right? So what does that mean? Well, if you're in 4th, right, and you were to close your legs, boop, you would be in a beautiful susu 5th. Now, some people teach 4th opposite 1st, which is about here, okay? It's more of an open 4th. There's nothing wrong with it. I just personally prefer a nice crossed 4th. I just think it's a prettier line when it's opposite 5th position, okay? And then of course, when you spring out to your échappé in 2nd, make sure your legs are sliding on the floor, and then again, there's that little pop up, right? So it really has the energy at the top of the spring, yeah? We change feet, we susu, and then we're ready to do it on the other side. Let's try this. Let's do the right side and the left side slower, and then the second time we do it, let's see if we can speed it up, but still keep the clarity in the movement. Yeah? Here we go, let's try. And out. When you're doing a combination like we just did, it's not necessarily wrong to make your down and your up even, but it is nicer when you show more of the up and less of the down. Because let's face it, the up is a lot prettier than the plie. I mean, the plie is necessary and beautiful in its own way, right? But we want to see the up, yeah? So your rhythm isn't always going to be down, up, right? I think it works better and it looks better, again, this is my personal preference, when you really rebound from the plie and it's more down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Think about your fouette turns. They will not happen if you go down, up, down, up. They're just not gonna work, right? You have to go down, up, yeah? So it's a good rhythm to sort of get into your system, really sustaining the up a hair longer and really rebounding from that plie, okay? Keep that in mind and let's move on to the next one. Let's put our feet in fifth position and let's work on our bourrées. So this is a very iconic ballet step. It's nearly in every single classical ballet that you're going to watch. So it's really important that we master these beautiful, fast little skimming steps, okay? And that's really what you want it to make it look like. It shouldn't be very choppy and heavy and down into the floor. It's just these little tiny ballerina steps that sort of just skim the floor. We're not gonna travel yet. We're gonna stay in the same place, but it should still have that same lightness to it. So we start in our fifth, take your plie, scoop the toes to your sous-sus, and we do little tiny steps. So teeny tiny, okay? Now here's a very common mistake that people make in a bourrée. Your legs have to be soft, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, your knees aren't straight the whole entire time because then you look like this, which is very robotic. And it makes it so hard to move, right? Your knees are also not bent the entire time, which then would look like this, which is obviously no bueno. We don't like that. That's not good either. So basically what's happening is you're kind of bending and straightening. Bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight. So your legs are soft, yeah? There's obviously still energy in them. Your muscles are still engaging, but they have to be soft so they can move quickly, okay? So again, they're not straight the whole time. They're not bent the whole time. They kind of do a little bit of both, okay? So let's do 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna do right arm up, right arm down, left arm down. So a little balance challenge, okay? Make sure when you lift your arm up that it's a little bit in front of you. If your hand is above your head or behind your head, where's your weight gonna go? It's gonna go back, right? So in order to really maintain our posture, your arms are just a little bit in front of you, okay? As opposed to, right? The balance just will not happen, all right? So let's do this. Let's do twice with the right foot in front. After your second set, very quickly take your back leg, dégagé out to the side to change, and then we'll go twice on the other side, okay? Let's try with music. Assemblée as a jump, right? You can assemble to the front, to the side, or to the back. Obviously, the more common one is to assemble brushing your leg out to the side. And of course, we should all know that we assemble in the air, right? Okay, so we're going to try an assemble, but we're not going to do the assemble as a jump. We're going to do it as a beautiful scoop to su-su, all right? So let's start with our feet in fifth position. We're going to slide out to our tendu, supporting knee bends 3 times. Reach 1, 2, 3, and then we scoop up, okay? From here, this is probably the most important part of the combination. Try not to just come crashing down, right? You really want to make sure that your supporting foot is really rolling toe ball heel. 1, 2, 3, scoop. Yeah? So there's a slight little shift of weight happening. Now, after your third plie, right? We're really using that plie. We're really using these toes on the floor to help assemble as quickly as possible, okay? And we're shifting our weight to our supporting toes, okay? Now, you can do this without the weight shift and more or less bring your supporting toes to you, right? That makes it a little bit more of a spring, right? A little bit more of a pop up. They're both right. It's good to know how to do both, right? So for this one, let's not do that. Let's work on shifting our weight over the toes and then really emphasizing the roll down to go to the next position. 1, 2, 3, shift. Then we go to the back. 1, 2, 3, shift. From here, we're not going to go to the side again. Instead, let's draw the toes up to our passe, close front, and then we'll do it one more time, okay? So we go to the front, to the side, to the back, passe up, bend over to change, and then one more time around, okay? So again, make sure you're really focusing on shifting the weight and really articulating through the feet. You have to stay in control the whole time, okay? I know, that's hard. Here we go, let's try with music. And light hands. We slide out. 1, 2, 3, scoop. 1, 2, 3, scoop. 1, 2, 3, scoop. Up, close front. Again. 1, 2, 3, shift. 1, 2, 3, shift. 1, 2, 3, shift. Up, close front. Good work, guys. Okay. Let's try the same thing on the other side. And deep plie. Reach 1, 2, 3, shift. 1, 2, 3, shift. 1, 2, 3, shift. Up, close it front. And 1, 2, 3, shift. Awesome leg. Awesome leg. Up and finish. Woo! Okay. Alright guys, how are we doing? I'm sweating. Hopefully you are too. Okay, let's try another releve. This one is a little bit trickier because we're going to work on going from 2 feet to 1 foot, and this time we're not going to shift the weight. In other words, we're not going to bring our body to our toes. We're going to bring our toes under us to our body, okay? So when I look at you, just from the waist up, there's no back and forth going on. You're literally staying exactly in the same spot, okay? Now this is much harder to do, but again, it's good to know how to do this, okay? So we're gonna start with our feet in 5th position, and again, I want you to think about the rhythm. We're gonna do faster plies and try to sustain the up so we're not so even all the time. So we're gonna go to a coupe to the front. Of course, we're pushing the heel forward, right? Don't give me this coupe. Heel forward, just the baby toe. We're gonna plie and then do a releve coupe back. This one is just the heel, not this one. Ugh. just this one, right? Heel, okay? So it looks like this. And scoop, and hold, and left. And then we go to passe, and passe. And then we'll take a tendu, plie in second, releve in second. If you want, you can see if you can balance. Plie, shift the weight, so tendu, close fifth, and then we do the same thing to the other side. So we're doing coupe front, coupe back, passe front, passe back, tendu, plie second, releve in second, little balance, and then shift your weight to the other side, okay? So think about it like this, ladies. Your right foot is scooping under to get to your coupe. Your left foot is also scooping under to get to your releve. So both toes are sort of joining in, meeting in the center, and then springing back out. Same thing for your passe, okay? So make sure you're really giving a generous plie. If you're giving this little puny plie, it's not gonna happen, okay? So really nice, generous plie. Again, all this posture, belly button in and up, tailbone down, rotation, rotation, and then really use both of your legs to push off the floor and spring back down. Push, yeah, and down, okay? So we're not doing this. We're not going shift, 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 right? We're not gonna do that one. We're staying right in the center. You bring your toes to you, okay? Woo! I'm out of breath. Okay, let's try. Here we go. All right. Breathe, and here we go. Quick plie. Spring, and spring, and spring, and spring. Tendu, plie, up. Check your balance. And left. Scoop, and scoop, and scoop, and scoop. Tendu, plie, up. Should we go again? Let's go again. And scoop, and scoop. Last time. Scoop, and scoop. Okay, and finish. All right, guys, good work. Shake out your legs. Okay, guys, we have 2 more exercises. Stick with me. I'm feeling it too. I haven't put on my point shoes in a long time. I can't remember. That means it's been too long. So you gotta start back somewhere. So don't worry if your toes are screaming. Mine are screaming a little bit too. You kind of just have to get back on the wagon. They'll get used to it, okay? So don't get frustrated. Let's do a little traveling exercise. Let's see if we can do our pas de bourrées. And we're gonna do these 3 kinds of ways. So we're gonna start in a beautiful B+. The first time we do this exercise, let's go nice and slow. That way we can really feel exactly what's happening and really feel that each time we step onto point, we are stepping on the longest, strongest leg possible, okay? That's the most important part. Something that will always make me cringe, and it doesn't happen often because I'm really strict with my students about this. You should never be on point with your knees bent unless you're doing an exercise like we did in the beginning of class, right? Where you're kind of rolling up and stretching. Other than that, you should really never have your knees bent, right? It's very scary and unstable and wobbly when you're up there and you're not lengthened up completely, okay? This is solid. You're not gonna go anywhere, all right? I guess an exception would be our bourrées, right? Because they're slightly bent. But besides that, the legs should always be nice and long, okay? So we're gonna start in our V plus, nice and slow. We prepare and step, step, roll. Pas de bourrée. Second time we go to our coupe front down, coupe, coupe, down. Third time we're gonna go all the way up to the knee, passe, passe, down, and passe, passe, down. Let's see. You know what? We'll do the passes twice through, just so we're musically even. And then the second time we do it, we start from the top, just stepping straight down, but we're gonna double it up, okay? So twice as fast. Should we try it? Yes, of course we're gonna try it. Here we go. All right. Okay, and step, step, roll. Straight, straight, roll. Coupe, coupe, roll. Coupe, coupe, roll. All the way up. And again, passe. And let's double it up. Here we go. Up, up, down. Up, down. Coupe, coupe. Passe, and last one, and finish. Woo! Okay, guys. Nice work. So, something I want to point out that you probably just did automatically, when you're doing your faster ones, obviously you don't have as much time. So you still have to get to that beautiful position, but in order to save time, maybe you just don't travel as much, right? So I'm still traveling, but I'm not traveling as much as I was traveling in my slower ones, right? So when the music gets faster, we never want to sacrifice our technique. We never want to sacrifice the positions itself. We just maybe sacrifice traveling, right? Just a little bit, just so you can get to where you need to be, nice and clean and clear, okay? Dancers, I have one more for you, so let's see if we can finish strong. And let's try some grand battement. So we're gonna do this with one hand on the bar. I'm gonna swing around. Okay. Hopefully I'm still in frame, fingers crossed. I am known to chop my head off, so I apologize if I look like a headless ballerina. Okay guys, as long as you can see my legs, I guess. So let's do this, dancers. We are going to try our grand battement, and we're going to challenge ourselves because we only have one hand on the bar this time, and we're also going to do these on point, of course, okay? So the challenge is really to focus on your supporting leg. Obviously the leg that's doing all the kicking and the fancy stuff is important, okay? But because we're doing these on point especially, you have to make sure that your supporting leg is, again, so straight and so strong, because that's your foundation. If your foundation is a little funky and it's wobbling, good luck doing your grand battement. They're probably not gonna happen, okay? So really focus on that supporting leg. If you have to lower your working leg, I know everyone hates when I say this, but if you have to lower your working leg a teeny bit, then you know what? That's better than really trying to kick it up and then letting your supporting leg do funky things, okay? It's just not worth it, and it's very, very dangerous. So let's not do that, okay? So we're gonna go from fifth position, arms down, and let's just prep by, again, scooping those toes under in our beautiful Susu fifth. So we're gonna go brush, close up, and stay, and up, and fifth, and up, and fifth. Same thing to the side. One, hold, stay, stay, brush, close front, brush, close back. Same thing in your arabesque. Brush and fifth, and hold, and brush and fifth, and brush and fifth. Same thing side. So we go en croix all the way around. At the very end, dancers, let's come down in our plie, and let's just finish with a beautiful circular port de bras. Sweep the arm across, reverse your circular port de bras all the way around, just to kind of move the body and just really let it go and sort of stretch everything out, okay? We'll stop in between sides, and then we'll try it on the left side, and then you're done. Okay, here we go with music. Okay, dancers, woo! You are done with this beginner point class. I hope this really helped you, and hopefully all my little tips along the way will give you things to think about and things to work on for the time being. I'm so out of breath! Thank you so much for joining me today. Sending love, light, and hugs, and I will see you all in the next one. Keep dancing. Bye.
Don't forget, dancers, I started teaching live virtual Zoom classes hosted by the Joffrey Ballet School. I teach a ballet class on Wednesday and a stretch and strengthen class on Saturday, and I would love to meet you, and I would love to have you join my classes. That's been one of the amazing positive things that's come out of this situation. I've been meeting all of my followers from all over the world, and it just makes my heart smile every single time. Please check out my description box down below, where you will find a link with all of the details, including sign-up instructions. I can't wait to see you in class. All right, everyone, take care of you and keep dancing, keep smiling, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.